this of course is Ron's Zoom call. This of course is Ron's LWS group, and everything about this is Ron. And so we are giving this Zoom call as a way to talk about some updates with Ron, and then at the same time we would like to also give you an update for LWS, how we want to proceed. So we thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. Again, thanks for the setting of the recording, and for everyone, thanks for being here. This is an important time for all of us, as all days, weeks, and months that continue to go by, it's all very important. It just feels to me like there's something positive in the air. And so we come today to experience this conversation we'll have, and a plan for going forward, a plan for Ron's recovery, obviously, and also a plan for us while he's recovering. So again, just want to cover the discussion points very quickly. We're going to, as a summary, we're going to just update information on Ron and LWS plans. You know, we're in a situation of preparation and being ready to act on our awareness with the coming changes. And I really feel the changes are here. I don't feel like they're on the way. I feel like they're here. We also need to remind ourselves that as a collective of our high frequencies, how important it is to purge out what we have inside of us to then allow new energies to come in that just continue to raise our frequency, our ascension, and our increasing of our collective consciousness by reaching our destinations to where we're all looking forward to get to. Okay, so we're going to have a conversation about that, but mainly just so that it makes clear sense to everybody, we'll start out with just some highlights of Ron, some updates on Ron, and then we would like to do a meditation quiet time that Mr. Mouse has agreed to do for us. And so we'll do that. Then we'll get into the Ron update. We'll get into the LWS update. I've got a little bit of other information I want to share with you, and then we'll allow some questions and answers going forward. So again, if you're just getting in here, welcome. I would like to, as we have been doing, put on a song for you. We have been doing this in the past. This particular song was done by one of our members and sent it to me. And I think it just speaks exactly to our time here from everyone all around the world. And so with that, I'll just play it and we'll take a listen. Thanks.
Lula, 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 Lula.
I love my heart.
udorugaren echizi diranu amor ziad
আমি আমার মনো আত্মাকে ভালোবাসি
Ik hou van alle mensen.
Sagitoen e quamio vigitoen ai heiwa so shite chowa
E aloha mai iao.
amo tutta l'umanità
and not the gypsy
사랑향 화주와 rakasrauhaya harmonia
that's you
join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony.
That was beautiful, Dom. Can you give us some background on where this song came from? It was awesome.
Sent it to me and I listened to it and it just, oops. 1 second. Looks like we're still playing here somewhere. Huh, can you guys still hear this music?
No.
Can't.
No music.
No, it's playing it to me. 1 second, please, folks.
Well, that was just an amazing,
Okay,
amazing song, and I'm sure it's blessed many.
all right, got it now. It's just background noise. Okay, so my technology is being challenged today, but I will overcome. And a member sent this to me. I listened to it and was just so appropriate for our meeting tonight because of the interest from all around the world that we have here. How each individual person is no less important, equally as important, and even equally more important to each other, to the next person as a collective. So came from Peace and Love, who's one of our members, and I wanted to say thank you for that because it was a great song. We can share that after the chat is done, after the Zoom call. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive in to our discussion. For those people that are here that are going to hear this for the first time, I just briefly want to say that we're here today to talk about Ron. Last week, Ron had a mini stroke that carried him into the emergency room, and he has been in the process of recovering since then. The stroke caused him to be incapacitated for a number of hours. He did finally get a friend that came by to check on him that realized something was wrong and then got him to the emergency room. Now, since late last week, Ron has been in recovery, and Mrs. Mouse is going to talk about that update here in a few seconds. But for now, I just wanted to share, in case anybody here was not aware, that Ron is out for a while. And let's just say that he is out indefinitely until he decides he's ready to come back. We are so much loving him and honoring him and respecting his free will and privacy. So he is going through this experience and will come through it without any issues, because it is his experience, and he will treat it the way he needs to treat it. And so we'll talk about that a little further as we go into this, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. So Mr. Mouse, Mr. Mrs. Mouse, first off, how are you guys doing?
We are great.
Great.
Thank you
for
so
asking.
much. Yes.
Big thank you to all the people behind the scenes that are helping us. A thank you to Juan and the Spanish group for participating on their level, and just to everyone around the world. This is a collective that it is definitely a family, as Mrs. Mouse says. We are a family. So, Mr. Mouse, would you like to jump in and do a little meditation for us?
Absolutely. For all of that would like to participate, please use your discernment and your own free will. We're going to lift up Ron. We have, as part of our family, we're all here. We've all been blessed by all that he's done over the years, and we have so much gratitude and love. We thought it would be a great opportunity. So if we can all just take a deep breath, and in our highest love and gratitude, we just reach out, we send prayer, love, energy, healing, joy, and peace to Ron, for we're all his family, for we're all one. We see him in perfect health. We dispatch our blessings and energy to watch over him, and that his free will and his sovereignty be protected. And we dispatch all the medical personnel to be in their highest frequency and the highest joy, and in his sovereignty, the treatment will be the best that's possible, and that he will return to us very quickly. We ask this all with love and joy. Teledestan. Thank you all. Just a brief uplifting, because we've all been blessed so much from with what Ron's done and how he's set this up for us. Many of us have woke up with Ron and realized that there's so much more to this, and that we all have that love and gratitude to him. That is the most powerful energy. That's the flow of the Holy Spirit. That is all that is. Let's just take a minute now and focus on this and just send these love and healing bombs to him. And I'm sure he'll feel that. So we're going to have a moment of silence right now. It's 1:11 currently. We'll have a moment of silence. We thank you all for that moment of love and gratitude. I'm sure this is one more step in his healing process, and we see him back with us very soon. Dom?
Thanks, Mr. Mouse. That was awesome. And Mrs. Mouse is going to come in and give us a little update. Before she does, I just want to share, I'm sure, the thoughts that are going around with members as to what all this means for Ron, what all this means for LWS, what all this means for everything that's out there currently right now. Again, it's an experience. We all have our experiences that we're going through, and Ron is going through his, but the result of what has happened here is what we want to discuss. And we want to discuss that not as Dom or Mr. Mouse or Mrs. Mouse or Juan or any other individual separate from LWS, but we want to discuss this as a collective. Each of us equally willing to discuss. We're going to allow you to have comments and questions at the end. We are going to cover some things individually here now, but this is a collective, almost like a collective meeting amongst the members without Ron being here while he's recovering. And so that I want to make sure you know, this is still Ron's deal. Nothing has changed. We are just allowing him the opportunity to, based on his free will, to get himself into recovery and back to us as soon as possible. Okay. Mrs. Mouse, you have an update for us?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Dom. Is everybody hearing me good?
I hear you. Great. I hear you. Great.
Perfect. Okay. So, we were lucky enough to have Ron answer the phone yesterday. Every day I have been calling the nurses at the facility to get kind of a update on him, from the medical point of view. I will ask the nurse certain questions, find out, she'll fill me in to let me know about his therapy, his activity, if he was happy, sad, tired, chipper, or if he's eating, if he's, going to therapy and being successful. So we have a certain amount of questions that we've been asking every day so we can fill you in. And yesterday was the first time that we were able to talk to him since last Thursday when the event happened. So he answered the phone. He sounded strong and chipper, like I said, and he was in good spirits. He was happy to hear from us, Mr. Mouse and I. And we just had a short conversation. I asked him if the nurses were treating him well, and he goes, "Oh yes, they're very nice. I'm enjoying them very much." We asked about the food, if he was eating well, and he said, "Yes, I'm eating very well. I get to choose my meals, and better, it tastes great." So he's happy. Of course, Mr. Mouse wanted to know if there was great snacks, anything good. And he goes, snacks, not so much, but the food's good. So that was great. And also I asked about his 3 different kinds of therapy. Of course, when you have an event like that, they usually focus on physical therapy first. And then when you have numbness or lose the feeling in arms and hand, you need to proceed with occupational therapy, which he is also doing. And he still has very little use of his arm in hand, but he has some feeling in it. And the nurse said that he even picked up something with his hand and brought it to his mouth. So I'm assuming it was some kind of food. But he did move that. And he also told Dom that he moved his left knee or foot. So that was good to hear. So these are really positive things. And what I want you all to remember is that it's very early in the event. This is only 7 days. And the fact that they moved him from the main hospital to a facility that focuses on rehabilitation, that's a big deal because a lot of patients don't get to go that quickly. So that was a really good sign. And so after we talked about his rehab, I asked him, how he liked it, and he goes, "Oh, it's hard. We are working hard every day. I'm very busy. Each each therapy is about an hour and a half long. And the thing that was very uplifting for us was that I asked if he was going outside to the therapy center. He said yes. So that means I have to help him up, put him in a wheelchair, get him down there, and then he will do an hour and a half of that, which is a lot when you're not feeling great. So this is all new for him. And that was a really good sign for us, all three of us, to hear that between the physical, the occupational, then he has speech therapy, which according to the nurse, he was a little bit better from one day to the next. He does have a little bit of challenge with the slurring, but when we spoke to him, we thought that he was sounding very good. He was a little slower in his talking, and of course he's very tired because they don't let you sleep much in the hospital. And between the nurses and all the therapy, the doctors, he talked about his doctors, that he likes all of them. And would you believe he has 5 different doctors? And then you also have a caseworker that works with him about the care that he's getting and insurance and all those details that family usually take care of. So he has a full plate, but I want you to know that he is getting our emails. We have a great trio, Judy, Kathy, and Suzanne, that volunteered to do all of your messages, which are amazing. They're taking them, copy paste, and formatting into a large font email that Ron can receive. He did receive the first one the other day and actually emailed back Judy to let her know. And he said, thank you so much. This is just so wonderful. And because I knew that he had actually emailed Judy back, replied, I had asked him, what do you think about the emails? He goes, oh, it's wonderful. The messages are so beautiful. It just fills my heart with joy. So other than that, we did talk a little bit about his future, near future in the facility, working with the doctors and the therapists and what might come next. And I offered to be his medical patient advocate. So he's thinking about that because I've done that with some other family members and friends. And so it's very helpful to have someone working with the team that is actually giving him treatment. And that's everybody, doctors, therapy, nurses, and of course the administration behind the scene. So please help us pray that he will actually make the decision that we would be able to help a little bit more. And then he can save his strength for focusing on energy and recovering and getting back to us as soon as possible. So that's it, family. I want to let you know that we are actively trying to reach him every day to get an update, and then we will be posting the update in voice or text and letting you guys know. And please keep the messages coming. Now that we know that he is on the road to recovery, we want all the messages to be very positive, that we see him up and around and moving and having no pain. We just want to see him, bottom line, perfect health. We envision him in perfect health. So that's it. That's my message. I hope you guys are happy with the information. And again, please keep sending him love, energy, peace, joy, and comfort in this time. And we will keep you updated. Much love.
And something very important too, we have been receiving a number of messages from you, the members, on treatments, on protocols, on things that you've experienced, things that are good, that have worked for you. We have gotten so much of that, and we could just tell in the hearts of everyone that your hearts are pure and they are in the best interest of Ron, the highest interest of Ron. And so we thank you for all the information that you send us. And a lot of the information is really great. Here's the thing I want to tell you. I've made messages of this, comments of this, and I just think it's important because I'm sure Mrs. Mouse can come back in and share a conversation she had, or actually she just did, where she wanted to offer her services to help Ron. And Ron said, let me think about it and get back to you. Well, that's a prime example of someone wanting to use their free will to decide what's best for them. And so Ron will get information from myself and the Mouses about opportunities that members like you have suggested. But it's going to come down to Ron's free will, what he decides to do and what he decides not to do. And at this point, I feel that he is very comfortable with the care he is receiving from the rehabilitation center. And my gut tells me and my heart tells me that he's going to continue that. He's going to stay on that side of it until he's able to make his own choices, to stand up, to move around, to use his left arm, to talk as normal as possible, to then get back home. I mean, the ultimate goal is for him to get back to his home environment where he is probably the most comfortable. And so with that, we need to respect to and allow his free will to be the utmost importance, and then to adapt and accept it. That's what's going to happen. We can continue to make as many recommendations as you would like, but Ron is going to choose which one's going to be best for him. And if he chooses one of yours, fantastic. If he doesn't, great. That's what's going to get him through this, is his free will. Okay, so thanks for that. And let's just go into the next piece of this. The next piece of our discussion today is, so how do we go forward with this? We've pretty much had a traumatic experience with Ron. I would say it is, although I am so encouraged of his recovery, how quickly he is on the mend here, that I feel like it's going to just accelerate as he keeps feeling confident of his abilities to get back on track. I just think it's going to continue to get better. But what about for LWS in general? What does this do for this entire process? And for that matter, how do we proceed? Well, I know that you feel confident in that the people that are surrounding Ron and have been involved with Ron can pretty much step up to the opportunity to support him while he is in that recovery mode. And I also almost think, like, for example, that I am his first mate helping the captain while he's recovering. Or maybe Mr. Mouse is the co-pilot flying the plane for the pilot. How about Mrs. Mouse being the substitute player for an individual person, sporting person who got hurt? Well, those examples state that when a person is down, it doesn't mean they're out. It just means that others take charge of what it is that Ron has put in place. Excuse me. And so what is exactly the process in our group's mind, and possibly in your minds too, as to how we go forward and proceed? I'd like to ask you to indulge me and listen to me for a few minutes here as I read an email from one of our members, and then my response to that member, and in hopes that this helps you, because this message is a message I felt was so important to share with everyone else that I'd like to, with your choice, of course, read it right now. And if you don't want to hear it, then that's fine. You could just mute for a second or two. But let me read this. I'm not going to share the member's name. I felt it was a great message. And so here it goes. Dear Dom, it's fascinating to read how much love is poured out towards Ron. It makes me happy. Nevertheless, no one has yet asked why Ron must or may experience this now. What is the divine plan behind this measure? Everyone knows that LWS is Ron, and only Ron has the job as the overseer. No one else can carry out the task that Ron fulfills. You can tell in every word Ron says that he is guided by God, and it is fascinating to listen to him every time. As he has always said, he is the instrument, the mediator. Everything comes from the alliance, the divine all one. I would therefore be very grateful if thoughts could be discussed in this direction. If I am wrong, you are welcome to tell me, and I will change my perception. So that was the message from the member, and now I'd like to just share my response. And by the way, it came out, all my love to Ron. So here's my response. I'd like to comment and reply to your message. I totally resonate with all that you say, but I choose to expand the understanding if you allow me to do so. Ron has truly been a guiding being, a mentor, and an overseer to all of us, in my opinion. He came with the Alliance and our God plan for the restoration of our planet, one that I know will be useful to all people. He has spent countless hours, days, weeks, months, and years on releasing and sharing of the information to us with the help of many in the background. Ron has put much stress on his body from all the weight he has had to endure, including the evil that has repeatedly attacked and the people who have doubt and don't believe him. And it's still going on as we speak. Ron has told me in many personal discussions that the Alliance has stated that he has an experience, like all of us, that we must go through as a reason for being here and acting as the overseer for Love One Society, the Alliance, and God. He doesn't yet have the reason for the experience or the result, but his trauma certainly was the result of a lot of this. But allow me to share a point of view as to why. I'll put it in the form of a question for everyone here and who's listening on the recording. Does the Alliance and God see this as a test for Ron and all of us to see how he and we will respond and how committed we are in this journey? And if that is possible, then is Ron the only one that can make this happen in the future? Do we continue to count on Ron for all the answers without looking within ourselves as we can? And Ron has told us to do many times. Why does he tell us this? Has he reached the peak of the summit of his overseer responsibilities to now allow all of us as a collective to take it to the next level? Or should we just continue to rely on one shepherd to help all the people we will be responsible to take care of, including all of us? Is that reasonable or even realistic? Is it fair to Ron? I believe you know the answers. We are to take the responsibilities and the reins of this from Ron, not leaving him behind, but in support of what he has done to show the Alliance and God's source our commitment is strong and our movement will be forward. While Ron is in recovery, we must continue to carry the torch together for Ron so he may focus on his healing and finish off this experience. I value your comments and appreciate having these conversations. This to me has to happen now as a collective, as we are very close. Hope all this makes sense. Much love to you. So I shared that response not only with our member, but with you as a way to say, how do we progress going forward? And I noticed the word that I used was we. What answers do we have to support Ron during his recovery and things that we can focus on? One thing I wanted to cover very quickly for you was I looked up the definition of overseer and I wanted to read it to you. Definition of overseer provides guidance and feedback to ensure work is carried out safely and efficiently. So I ask you, members, can this serve as our definition as a managing director? A director that we hire, an assistant director that they hire in executing the LWS programs and projects that we will implement, and also in our spiritual developments? Can we be that overseer, that guidance to make sure that things get done? Or does Ron have to be the only one here that does it? Why does anybody here need to listen to anyone else when all we have to do is listen to ourselves by going within? And so for me, in going through the progress of this and how we proceed to go forward, and the things that we're going to do until Ron comes back, is to focus on this work that we have put in and will continue to put in, and then do this by assisting others through the transition that's about to occur. So in other words, as an overseer, I see us as the transition team for this entire process of ascension, and that we will be an instrumental part of this. I believe that's what the Alliance has in plan for us, to be this team of people transitioning those through Ron's LWS programs, through all the learning that we have come up with, and the way that we will execute it. I think this is the gift that Ron has always talked about, that the Alliance has given to us and that God has given to us. And so we focus on this hard work. And with this focused effort, continue to learn, continue to apply, continue to create, continue to visualize what it will look like once we get started. And I'd say, for me at least, fight as hard to stay in joy and love and peace at this time, and to prepare as much as possible. Fight as hard as Ron is fighting in his recovery. Fight because we want to do it not only for Ron, but most especially and first and foremost, we want to do it for ourselves. And so a couple things I've never shared with the group that I don't really need to share, but I think it's important because, again, it's about what we will plan to do in the future. So I've been on this journey for over 7 years, and I've been aware of what is going on for even a longer period of time. My choice for me is not to give up, but to move forward. I choose not to despair, but to prepare, because I know what's ahead for me. Anyone else who wants to follow that same path will see the reality of that work just like I know I will. So join me on that path. Because you see, we are creators. And this transitional time that we will spend in helping people in communities all around the world is this time that we are to create. We are going to create this. By the way, as the way things are right now in the 3D world, guess who created it? We did. And so we will go to a level of new creation in a new earth. And so with that creation that we are the creators of, the time that we have in the 3D will soon change to a higher dimensional level that we will then be able to create even more. And our opportunities will grow even bigger because our minds will grow more expansive and more creatively. So I need you to know and understand that I do this for Ron, for the Alliance, and for my Prime Creator. I do this most especially for myself first and those I choose to serve. And I hope you feel the same way. We can feel bad for Ron. We could give him our heartfelt sorrow and concern, but then we can also stand up and brush ourselves off and say, I'm going to move forward to work on my plan as a humanitarian, as a managing director, to serve under the plans that Ron has provided us, and to make sure that every element of that plan works in my project that I plan to use. Remember, Ron always has said, doubt not, fear not. Time to get excited and to have faith. There is no time now to be down and to have doubt. Have the excitement and have faith. So again, I'm his first mate. I'm just helping out the captain until the captain gets back on the boat. Mr. Mouse, he's the co-pilot. He's flying the plane for the pilot till we are ready to land. And Mrs. Mouse, she's the substitute player coming in for the injured player, and she's going to go ahead and score points while that injured player is recovering. So is it possible that we can move this as a group and a collective to a higher summit? Once we've reached the summit with Ron, is there a little more to go? Ron has said that there is. when you reach the top of the mountain, you're surprised to know that's even a little farther to go. Well, that's, I think, where we're going to be going with this right now, and I hope you agree. But I do want to say thanks to Ron and to my Prime creator and to the Alliance for this experience, because this has all been given to us. This has all been prepared for us. Some of us, if not many of us, were involved in the preparation of this. And so therefore, the time is here now to continue to move it forward until it becomes reality. And that's, I guess, the same as saying to manifest it. So the best is yet to come, not yet to come, but is actually here now. And I just wanted to share that with you with much love for everyone on behalf of Ron, because again, this is Ron's plan. This is his mission. This is why he was brought here. And so therefore we totally and 100% support him. But while he is not here, we take time to honor his recovery, respect and adapt to it, and then to go ahead and think forward until he returns. And so we do have a plan in place to do that. I just wanted to share that statement of intent. Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, any comments before I go on?
I think it's a good time, Don, for us to stop the recording so we have the small bites for Ron. If you want to proceed, we can stop this recording
Or
and
we
start.
could just do a full.
No, let's go ahead and stop. I think it's a good idea. And what Mrs. Mouse is saying, we're going to stop the recording and give him small pieces of the recording so he can listen to it. Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
We can do it on this end.
Okay, let's hope that it goes to my
Oh,
Why
like
Why
then,
don't you, why
then
don't
you do it.
just
Go
like-
ahead.
Well, we're good if you are, Dom.
Okay, great. Any other comments? You're good?
I think he had a comment that he'd like to share. Hold on.
I was listening to, and you put that so eloquent, and it, with this time, as Ron had said, that we need to be adaptable and we need to grow. And that's part of all of us working into our own sovereignty and being managing directors and humanitarians. There's so much more that this is just one step in what is going to be happening over the next 100 years. If you think about it, even to the point our growth that we went through now, many of us started a couple of years ago, maybe people started a couple of months ago. With me, I had planned all my plans in a 3D perspective, and I'm using that just to define a timeline, but they were all in the highest interest, but they were done from a level of like physical, that we would have to buy this and we'd have to build this and we'd have to do this. And that as we've grown and as Ron has taught us and taught us to listen to the flow of the spirit and go within, you come to a place where you're in your heart and that you're looking at what the highest interest is. And there are tools that will be needed, no doubt. The example I'm saying is that one of our projects was going to use yachts, and we were going to bring people that are in service to others that may have never had an opportunity to experience that, while the crews, being their highest enjoyment, would have a place to work and continue that. And it would also be to the point where we'd be able to tie in with the Alliance and have visitors that are in that frequency. And that's just a wonderful part of that video that we had with Spring, which showed the 5D world. And that vision will help us grow. But in the same way that as we're growing with that, we have to adapt this situation we're going through with Ron. Ron, as he said many times, that we're co-creators and we need to be responsible for ourselves. So we lift him up in prayer, but we move forward. It's much like Dom was saying, that if it's a game, if you have an injured player, they get a break, somebody else jumps in and do that. And we're all jumping in to do that. We may even in the future be in 5D and money won't mean anything to us. If you think about that, how many people, members of LWS, when we started, the numbers were so astonished we couldn't even count them. But then when you get it into your heart from a perspective of we're doing this to service to others, I know many of our members have grown to the point now where we were living in a life of lack. And now we're not necessarily living in a life of lack. We're actually moving forward. We're experiencing that. And I'm not saying that our life became opulence. I'm saying that, you know, we've had the 3D world around us, but it doesn't affect us now. And this is what's going to happen. This is the blessing of LWS and Ron's plan and the Alliance's plan, that as we grow in the future, money won't even be a need. What I was saying about my perspective is that at that time, those funds were required. And I was actually, excited about doing that, about, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be able to purchase this and it'll help somebody. And that's wonderful. But the key being is that, think about it this way, possibly in 50 years, we would all be manifesting our own, or we would be supporting in a lower frequency. Like, let's say if we're in 5D, we'd be helping in 4D. There's all these options that we don't know what the future holds, but all of it's in the highest interest. And all of it is to be able to lift each other up. I hope that helps. And I hope that it ties in with, when we're operating in our highest love and gratitude, that is what we manifest in the future, whatever may hold. Just a thought. Much love to everybody.
You, Mrs. Mouse, you good?
The only thing that I wanted to add was that, besides Ron's favorite phrase of doubt not, fear not, but
Always be believing.
always be believing, that it will be exactly what it needs to be. So we might plan, we might fret, we might look towards the future, but whatever we have in the present moment is what we are supposed to have. And so we just move forward from that point, knowing that that we are on the right track, whatever position we're in at that moment.
And we support each other as one. Everybody is right where they need to be, and that there is no
Unity.
judgment. It's all unity. Because once we see this, the reason I shared that is that we see that we're just the same as the new people that have came here, or the people that may not even have any clue. When we have our CACs, we're going to be helping people that have came out of a life of lack, but may not have the consciousness to know where they're at. And we will be able to there to support them with love and compassion.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you, Don.
I love the wording that you just used of unity, because isn't that what it's all about right now? Isn't it time for us to unite? It's not time for us to divide. It's time for all of us to unite. What makes this group so amazing is the love that we all share. Now, I have to be brutally honest, because that's who I am. I know there are people that are in this group that are not here for the same reasons as other people are. I think for the most part, we have a large contingency of our group that are here for one thing and one thing only: to be of service, and to take ourselves into this transition that's about to occur. So it is about unifying and being united. I think that's an important part of this. So for us, we've had a discussion, sat down and actually had a little strategy meeting amongst some of the members that have been with Ron for a while. And we've come up with kind of a focus of how we want to proceed while Ron is recovering. None of these items are anything of a surprise to anybody here or anybody listen to the recordings. So it should not be a surprise for you. Before I do give you the information on that, I saw something in the posting in the message center, the chat of this Zoom call, which was very interesting. How when the next person is ready to step in, that the Alliance will probably need to vet that person. Well, I don't want to surprise you, but we're all being vetted as we speak, and all have been vetted. And the Alliance already knows who each of us is. The Alliance already knows who's stepping into this opportunity. And I go back to this comment I made earlier in my statement. What if this is a test? What if it is to see who actually is committed, prepared, excited, and welcoming to the changes that we are about to experience. Are you ready for that? And is the Alliance testing us? Is the Alliance testing Ron to see his resilience and how he truly wants to recover? Every indication to me, based on what Mrs. Mouse just said about his recovery, how so accelerated it is right now compared to other people that are in this facility he's in, is encouraging, but it also says that he's committed. He's committed to get better. So are we committed with the understanding that the Alliance is watching? I can promise you they're watching everything about what we're doing here, including everything we do on an ongoing basis. So keep that in mind. What will we focus on going forward until we can get Ron back? Everything that we are going to talk about, we will talk to Ron about it, but he has given me full confidence that whatever we decide to do as a collective, he supports. So we'll continue to focus on our training. We did the train the trainer, and I thought it went really well. I thought we gave and provided you with a nice layer of foundation for this training academy that will come. We had to obviously back off on the dress rehearsal for the time being, but we are going to discuss doing something in the form of an academy. Mr. Mouse made a comment earlier too, as a reminder that when we do reach the other side and we're able to get our minds expanding and released from all the stress that it's been under for many years, for many generations, we in fact may know everything that we need to know. We don't know that now, but ultimately we will. And so we'll continue with the training as long as we feel we need to do it. And yes, we will come back to a discussion about doing additional trainings, including the training academy. And so we're not stopping any of this. We're just taking one step back so we can go 2 steps forwards. Another part of a discussion we had was in the programs that are out there, being able to finalize these programs, to give you written documentation that is consistent from what Ron has been saying, but to make sure that it's complete. Some of the things that we have on our website is not completed yet. We'll talk with Ron to see how he wants us to proceed to get it completed. One example of that is the PHF for renters. We're going to complete that and it's already completed. It just needs to go up on the website. We need to then also have definitive completion on all the plans to make sure that nothing has changed and that everything makes sense so that you can have the most current up-to-date information. We want to also state the continuation of our responsibilities in all of this. And talking about it, I think everybody understands today that there is responsibilities here for us before we get started, after we get through redemption, and then into the future. But for now, we're going to stay in the now and keep focusing on our responsibilities to learn, not abuse our information that was given to us from Ron. And what I mean by that is for those that have taken the information, copied it, and felt the need to share it with other groups, that's without Ron's permission, not acceptable. So we need to be atoned and accountable to our own responsibilities and the responsibilities to LWS and to Ron. So basically, it's not really moving backwards, it's moving forward while we keep our frequencies high, continue to stay in joy and in gratitude and in love. As much of a day that we can be in that is all the real difference that it's going to take. And plus, if we can collectively transfer that energy from time to time to Ron, it pushes him. It gives him the confidence to continue to move forward. And then that helps us all. So when we help him or help ourselves, we help everybody else as a collective. And finally, that would be Ron's expectation for us, to not back off, but to push ahead, to push forward. Okay, so then the last thing I wanted to talk about in this discussion is other information. What is coming? I don't normally share links to particular individuals. I have shared in the past this individual. And I listened to a call that he did yesterday evening concerning what's coming and what to expect. And so I would like to put this on the chats for everyone to listen to. I took the call actually, and I condensed it down. It's about a 2 hour and 50-minute call, but I condensed it down to about an hour and 25 minutes. I will tell you that if you want to take the time to listen to this, you're going to get some very, very good information. And like everything else, the biggest question in our minds in this group and in other groups, and in, for that matter, for everyone, is when is this all going to happen? Well, this individual who never shares dates, he actually shared one date in the many thousands of presentations he's done, and it didn't happen. But he's never shared anything prior to that. He basically said that he expects some things to happen next week. Whether that's true or not doesn't really matter. I'm not predicting it. I will certainly manifest it to happen as soon as the universe wants it to happen. But I will put this out into the message area of our channel for you in the chat rooms, in the announcement page. If you want to listen to it, I think it would be a good listen for everyone else to just follow. Okay, and this is Jared Rand, by the way. If anybody is familiar with Jared Rand, he has technologies out there that are coming. He's just waiting for funding, just like we all are. So I will share that with you, but it does, as I stated in the beginning of this call, it does feel like something's happening. It does feel like something is not in the near future, but right here exactly. And so we continue to prepare. Whether it happens or not, we continue to prepare. Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, I am finished. Unless you had any final thoughts, can we then open it up to questions?
You know, I just wanted to add with that little conversation that we had. I'm looking at a lot of the feedback in the chat, and that we've all grown so much. And I know many people have their lives are very busy, and that, as they say, that you're not seeing the trees from the forest. But in the same way, we've already seen such an amazing difference in everybody's energy. That energy has been lifted, and we have a substantial amount of energy coming from the sun right now. Some might call it energy of Christ. Some might say from Prime Creator. But this is healing us and allowing us to lift our consciousness and see many things that are different. If you take the time to look at who's around you and who's talking, you'll see that the whole world's consciousness is raised quite a bit. And it ties into what we're doing here. It ties into what's happening with that quantum entanglement that we have. We're all tied together. And as that energy lifts, as the saying, I've used this before, as the tide, when the tide goes up, it lifts all boats. It's the same energy that we're having now. And, you know, Ron has given us the groundwork to do that, to move forward. And that in patience, we will see many more changes. And it's just going to be amazing. Thank you for that. Would you like to go to questions, Dom?
Yeah, I would. And here's what we'd like to do, and I would appreciate your help on this. There may be a number of questions, there may not be. We'll go until there are no more questions, but please be brief. If you have a comment you'd like to share, or if you want to put this on a message so that Ron hopefully will listen to it, feel free to do so, but be brief. We don't want to cut anyone off in this conversation, but we will stop it if it goes too long, because we want to give everybody an opportunity here. So appreciate your help on that. So Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, yeah, you can go right ahead.
And one thing we're doing is that if you just say Zoom user or iPad or something like that, there are admins that will help you put your name in there. We will not call on you with that without having a name or initials or something as such. So please be aware of that. Okay, we have 99. 99, you were unmuted. Please ask your question. And
99, are you there? You can unmute your mic and come on in.
Oh, they left.
Okay.
So how about
Judy.
Judy Shady?
Hello, Judy.
Hello, Judy.
Hey guys, my heart is so full right now of the love I feel for all of you, the team, and everybody on this channel, for all the love that we are sending to Ron. And like Don says, it's not up to us, it's up to him. And he was here just to shine the light into us. This was part of the plan to wake us up and let us see a little further. We were all sent here to do something, and Ron was such a big part of this plan. Thank you.
Yeah, and Judy, let me say this. Ron is a big part of this plan. The was is only temporary. I actually call it a vacation. Ron is on an extended vacation to his recovery. So he will be back with us, and he has gotten us this far. It's for then now us to take it to the next step together. So thank you for that. I totally agree.
And Judy, he's in his highest enjoyment. He is surrounded by lots of women, which he really enjoys. So just remember that even though he's recovering, he's in great spirits and he is thankful for what is happening. So I want to assure you.
You know, and with that, Mrs. Mouse and Judy, if we can do anything going forward, as you send your messages for us to type to give to Ron, make those messages encouragement messages and motivational messages and affirmations so that Ron works very hard, if not harder, to get back quicker to us. The quicker that he gets back to us, the more that we can continue to go forward. But we're not waiting for that. We're just allowing Ron to go through his experience and his recovery. We're going to go forward anyways, and continue that and share that coming in the future. But if we do want to continue sending messaging, make those motivational messages for Ron. Judy, thanks. Did we cover everything, hon?
Judy.
Oh, I got
Okay.
it muted.
And just on that note, Dom, if you guys want to send a 30-second voice clip or something like that, feel free to do that. And our team will do our best to put it in, test it, and make sure it can be heard on Ron's end. Okay?
Great.
Okay, next up is 99. She's back with us, or they're back with us. 99, you go ahead and unmute. Oh,
I lost her again.
bounced out again.
Okay, let's try Hope Arising. Your mic is open. Go ahead and speak.
I just wanted to say that I feel a full manifestation of the transition where we are all coming together as a collective in a way. God's plan is absolutely magnificent and beautiful for the timing. And we all support one another, and a way to bring up the entire world at this time. And I want to again appreciate what Braun has brought to us for us to recognize within ourselves as a collective who we truly are in this.
I think it's awesome. It's such great comments. Thank you. We are a collective. It's important to unify. You know, Mr. Mouse made a comment earlier about the collective energy. Just think for a moment, the stronger that our energy is, the brighter that our light shines. What ends up happening, if you think about it, is it's almost like a rope around the neck of the evil. And each time the light is increased and the energy grows, it chokes off the evil till there is no more. So as all of this transitionally grows for us, it diminishes what the evil has put on us. And therefore, ultimately, it's going to almost go to a point where it's extinguished and just can't do any further. So I totally agree. Keep the light coming, keep the energy high. When we're in the chats, let's do that. Let's support each other. Let's just be happy and joyful of where we are at this time. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Hope Rising. Next is I am Kevin Canuck. Kevin, go ahead and unmute. Kevin, go ahead and unmute.
Well, we can come back to Kevin. We'll try again. Let's go to 99.
Oh, I'm trying. Am I on now?
We got
Yes,
you.
we
We
hear
can hear
you.
Oh,
you.
thank you. I couldn't find the unmute button. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, Loved One Society family. Thank you, Dom, for taking such a great leadership role with us, and Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. And we're very thankful for what you're doing for us as well. And we pray for Ron and his full recovery. We know he's coming back to, because I see him in my mind, that he's coming back vibrant and into abundant health. And he will come back strong and lead us where we need to go. So in the meantime, we have to all step up and continue in these lessons and continue, communicating with our higher self and, trying to assimilate the higher levels of awareness that are coming in from, from Mother Earth and from the sun and so on. And get ready in case there's a solar flash that we know where we want to go, right? We know where we want to go, and that is to the golden age of mankind, and we want to help to lift everyone into abundance from lack. And this is our goal. We have to fulfill our fearless leaders' mission of Loved One Society. We have to do it. We can't let anything stop us because God is with us. And, I just want us to all be encouraged that we can do this. We have great leaders among us. And, and we're all going to step up more because we have to for such a time as this. So I yield.
Kevin's great message. Just so
Thank-
awesome. Thank you so much. We, it's encouraging too, because what I didn't say in this presentation today was that we would look forward to any comments or any recommendations that you, the members, may have on things you would like us to present. I know, for example, it's been over a year now that we would do Friday chats in talking about how to set up a CAC properly and things to consider. And I know there are many of you that are saying, well, I'm going to just wait till after the dust settles from all of this, and then I'll have a clearer picture as to how to plan. But you may decide that, no, I'd like to kind of get that now and then just put it on the back shelf till I'm ready to use it. Whatever you have as a recommendation will be certainly considered. And we look forward to that because, again, it's a collective. That's part of the stepping up of responsibility, is for us to kind of have creative ideas. So Kevin, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
And we'll take the next person in a minute, but when Kevin was speaking, I just had this vision, and think about a really large ship, maybe the largest cruise ship out there. You do have a captain, but think about how many people are working together to move that ship in the right direction. And there are so many moving parts. And it's not just Dom, myself, and Mr. Mouse and the team that you see every day, but you guys are all included in that, because as a collective, as we move forward, you move forward. As you move forward, we move forward. So again, keep that vision in your head that we're just this huge, the biggest, beautiful cruise ship that's out there. And all of us have a job to do. Okay, we're gonna try 99 again. 99?
Hello, 99. Please unmute.
Hello?
There you
Hi,
go.
Third
Yay.
time.
Are you there? Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
We hear you. Go ahead, 99.
Hmm.
Can you not hear us, 99?
Hello?
There
Hi.
you are.
Oh
you
my
hear us?
gosh, drama. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay.
Yay,
First of
mouse
all, I
clap,
want to say,
mouse clap.
oh my gosh, what a deal. First, I'm so excited, and I want to say prayers go out to Ron from everybody around Telegram, because I shared it and everybody's like, oh my gosh, and their prayers are going out to Ron. I want to say thanks to the team. You're absolutely awesome. I want to tell the people that did the song, I was crying, had tears running down my face. So many emotions going on right now. The letter that you responded, Dom, was excellent. And I just want to say, God's just showing me so many things right now, and he's expanding my thinking, and he's just lighting up and making a beacon. And I'm so excited and so proud to be aboard. And I thank God for our president and the alliance, and I love you all. And that's it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, 99. Okay, the next person. Hold on, before we get to the next person, Dom, how are we doing on our time for the second recording? Where are we at?
Another 10 minutes. Looks like we can just let it go for the rest of the time because we've got about 20 minutes left. Is that okay
Okay.
if we do that?
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, next up is Angie. Go ahead and unmute Angie.
Agni?
Agni or
We apologize. Go ahead and give us the correct pronunciation.
Very friendly, thank you. Greetings to everyone, and just a few interesting things. At the beginning of this conversation that we of the meeting, I had a vision like we are all one team of one huge ship, and now Mrs. Mouse she verbalized that exactly. Another thing is when I was listening to everybody talking, and also Mrs. Mouse's, I just in my mind's eye I saw Ron sitting on the sunlit white bed, and he was smiling so happily. And you know what? The energy, I mean, white light was coming all over him, and it was so strong, really. So I had, when Dom was talking about the meaning of all this that happened. So the part of it might be also that Ron was delegated to that hospital, and we all know that doctors, they have been not very free in what they are doing, and more like obeying the obeying authorities and so on and so on. So I saw it from the angle that Ron, being in that hospital, he's uplifting all the doctors, all the staff, and that he's doing now a very, very important job just to expand this light where it's needed so much that it can be shared later after. So that's it. Thank you very much.
beautiful
Wagner.
Whole message.
Absolutely. And, while you mentioned that, I want to make a comment too, because we have to say this. It's not meant to be deflating of any kind, but, Ron is in a recovery. Our anticipation is he's going to do well, but it is going to take time. We don't know how long that's going to be. We're not going to wait for Ron to come back. We're just going to embrace him when he does. And so, yes, I agree. For all we know, he's probably sitting out in the sun getting a suntan as he's recovering. And that would be great for him because he deserves it. He has put so much weight on his shoulders through this process that he needed to do this in accordance to this experience he's going through in order to then recover from it and come back even stronger. So totally, totally agree with you on this.
Thank
And
you.
we support him.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, wonderful. before we go to the next hand that's raised, there was a comment in here about the light wave. Could I comment on the light wave? I don't choose to do any comments about the light wave because that is Ron given guidance from Spirit. If I get any type of guidance on that, I will share it, but I choose to just allow Ron to share that information when it's available. Okay, so sorry, but I won't be commenting on that because that's something that Ron normally does. Okay, great.
Okay, next we have Janice. Your mic is open. Please ask your question. Janice, your mic is open.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Love One Society. Um, God is, it's just an encouragement. God is faithful to complete what He has started in us. And as Ron is our leader, he has been working with the Alliance, seeking the blueprint for heaven on earth to present to us. And we have been through this journey as a group and also individually. Each of us have our own walk going against the matrix and out of the matrix. I strongly believe that we were handpicked to fight, to stand with Ron and fight and hold the line. So where Ron is right now, I'm really at peace. I said light and love. I'm really at peace. I'm thinking back, when when Jesus went on mission, he always goes away. He always set himself apart, seeking God. And I believe, well, he is right now. He has lots of downloads for us, and I am so blessed to be in this group. I am so
What?
blessed to be in this group. Thank you, and
Give me
sending
just
my
a
love.
few minutes.
Sorry, Janice, for the interrupt. Were you done with that?
Janice?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much for what a beautiful message. And we are purposing that when Ron is feeling better, he'll be listening to these recordings, and I know he's going to receive so much love and joy from you all. So we're very excited about that part. So the next person is White Cloud. Please open your mic and ask your question. White Cloud, you can, there you
Yes,
are.
You're
There you
good.
yes,
are.
hi. Sorry about that. Yeah, my name's Linda. I'd just like to say that Ron has already given us all of his plan. It's up to us to go out there and just do it. That's what I wanted to say. We can do this. We can all do this. It's so easy because we've got the plan already. So that's what I wanted to say. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Linda. And as you said that, Spirit gave me a vision, a little just picture of a very well-stocked toolbox and the print to whatever we're doing. So I just wanted to let you know that synergy, that I got something as you were saying, and it's beautiful. We know what we have. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Michelle M. You can open your mic and speak. Oh, we lost
I don't
Michelle.
know where Michelle went.
Okay, how about the Light of Life? Open your mic and speak, please.
Hi there, this is Mark Wagner.
Hello.
Hi there, Mark Wagner.
Blessings to all.
Blessings.
This group, of course, is an inspiration to anyone with heart. And I'm sure that all of us are quite grateful to come together and work. I want to remind everybody that Q made the comment that it's our choice about life. We can check out of this plane anytime we want to. And I don't get the impression that that's what Ron wants to do. And so I fully expect him to recover because he chooses to. He chooses to do this mission and he chooses to work with all of us. And so in fact, I feel very strongly that he is already celebrating victory. And so to that end, I just wanted to say that little moment of inspiration to me, at least, and send blessings to everyone. So have a wonderful day. And yes, let's all work to make it a reality that we can be the greatest humanitarians group that's ever been put together.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
that.
Mark.
That was such a beautiful message. And we all, well, I resonate with it. I know Mr. Mouse does, and I'm sure everyone else does. So thank you. All
You're
right.
very welcome.
Thank you.
Much-
Dom?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too resonate with it.
Good. Okay. We're going to jump to Steve in the UK. I have not recognized his name. So please open your mic and speak.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hello from
Hello.
the UK.
Welcome.
Welcome. Good to talk to you in person, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, and Dom. Thanks for what you do. It's absolutely brilliant. Just, you know, my thing on this is that I've been in the UK fire service for over 30 years. And I did a lot of time at training school. And the position we're in now, we used to get all our recruits come through the training school. They used to do 18 weeks intensive training. And then when they finished that, we'd spend a time with them, you know, we'd have a passing out parade and things. But we used to say to them, we have been spending all this time, this 18 weeks, training you intensely. And you know you've been trained, but now you've got to go out and gain your experience. And that's where we are now. We're leaving the training school and we're going out to gain the experience, all of us as individuals, but as a collective. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. So what you said tonight, I'm just on fire. So thank you for that.
Well, that
Thank
is
you for that.
beautiful message. Thank you so much. And we love that as well. So thank you. And thank you for being a first time caller or first time speaker. So we'd like to see the new people. Thank you. Next is Michelle M. I hope that's correct.
Yes. Hey, Miss Mouse, Mr. Mouse, and everybody, beautiful family. Again, hey, everybody. I just wanted to send love. I see Ron, as you said, Miss Mouse, just smiling, happy, surrounded by some happy women. And we'll see him soon. I wanted to make a suggestion, Dom, and beautiful LWS team and family. What do y'all think about us having a little fun and maybe all of us on a Zoom call singing "You Are My Sunshine," "Celebrate," something like that to send Ron collectively? And that was one thing I was getting downloaded. And like everybody else is saying, we got this. Ron's given the tools. Now we get to go have fun and implement them. And we all will have everything we need. And I just wanted to thank Dom and this amazing team, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, and everybody behind the scenes. You guys are angels, and we love you. And everybody here, we're going to do this together. And I just love everybody. And I just want to send Ron whatever we can to inspire him. So I just wanted to give that suggestion and love to everybody.
Dom.
Michelle, I don't expect anything less than just excitement when you're talking. So thank you for that. And it's a great idea, actually. We just need to think through it, how we can plan it. But anything we can do like this will just accelerate his recovery, in my opinion. So just great suggestion. Great suggestion.
Okay, let's do it. Thanks, Dom.
All right.
Well, I love that suggestion, Michelle, and we will put our hats on and see what we can work out. And we have some surprises because there were some things that we had discussed with Ron for the last few weeks, and he was on board with that. And so we have some fun things coming up, and we'll try to implement.
Well,
Thank you.
We can share one of them.
Well, that would be up to Dom. So,
Dom, would
you
like
want to share the one
the
idea, the flash chat?
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You
Oh.
guys, you guys go right ahead.
All right. So Jim, do you want to? All
No,
right.
you get
Well,
to do it. You brought it up.
I brought it up. We came up with this idea that we brought it up to Ron many weeks ago about impromptu chats, different times,
In Telegram.
different days in Telegram, that we would have a topic. We wouldn't really announce it, but it would be spontaneous. Like you go into some of the other channels and all of a sudden they're just having a huge voice chat and everybody's having a great time. Well, we would have a little bit of a topic and an idea. Some might be towards the CAC or the RSS or the PHF or a scenario, an actual role play in the CAC with you as the managing director with your director, or a director with an assistant director or with an assistant manager. So we have been, it's always going to be changing. And you'll never know what we're going to come up, but we hope that when we do start the flash chat, it will be amazing and we'll have a lot of fun.
So coming soon.
Yes, something to look forward to. All right, I am Kevin. You are next. Go ahead and speak.
Okay, I love that idea, Mrs. Mouse. I think that'd be so much fun and a good way for us to use our voice more, you know, because that's what I'm practicing, going on live chats and so on, just learning to use my voice to get across, ideas and so on, but just also be able to control my emotions because I'm a very emotional guy like Ron, and I got a chance to go to Salt Lake City and visit with Ron this past summer, and it was so enjoyable. But I agree with Mrs. Mouse that Ron will be just making everyone happy in the hospital because that's how Ron is. I got to go to his favorite restaurant with him a couple times, and Isabella was our waitress. And we both, well, Ron just loves Isabella, and Isabella loves her. And, you know, we had a group hug, and it was very good. It was lots of fun. And we had spent some hours talking over a couple days, and it's so enjoyable. He's so genuine. He's so lovable, and just so giving. So I wanted to share that.
Well,
thank
you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think we have one more question, time for one more question. We'll take Light Worker. Please open your mic and speak.
Hello, Light Worker.
There you
Hello?
go.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, hello. I just had a comment. I was actually just wanted to praise you guys because I love you so much and give prayers to Ron for a speedy recovery. And just say I'm here from Alberta, Canada, and I'm wondering if it's possible to get a feedback on the counselor, like meeting with your counselor and all that. I just wanted to ask you guys, like, I'm doing my best in meditation, all that, and I'm doing what I can, I guess, but I just wanted your opinion on that. It's okay, right? Like, I'm scared. I don't want to miss out on anything, and I guess I shouldn't be scared. Like my inside tells me not to be scared, but just to do what you continue to do what you're doing, and going inward and trying to meditate. Meditating is very difficult. Like Ron says, he uses his imagination, and that's what I've been trying to go towards as well, because I have a great imagination. So I'm just excited to hear with my counselor, or to talk with them and communicate with them. And I'm wondering if all of you are in the same spot, or if you're already there, or just a little bit of feedback.
If I may, if I could share.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please.
One of the biggest things that your counselor, the flow of spirit, is always trying to talk to you. They're always there. It's a quiet voice because we've been trained our whole life to have our minds busy. And that we're working from our mind, not from our heart, and that it overpowers that. If you can get out in nature, lean up against a tree, walk barefoot in the grass.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Absolutely.
I do it all the time.
Well, when
I do it every, oh, yes, thank you.
if you're focused on the birds, for example, or something like that, it takes your mind off of its normal path. And then you may have what you feel like, oh, this is my thought. It's my imagination. But if you ask at that point, they will come to you. I mean, we all have connections. It's just a matter of we hear. And that there's a number of ways of doing that. There's also a practice, which I did when I first started, was to sit silently and count how many thoughts I had in my mind. And that if you count those thoughts, those are distractions.
Yes.
And that you can quiet that. You can also use, as Ron and Q has used, you can take the command that I command my higher self to take the thoughts from my mind into my heart. And you'll find that peace when you're on the grass grounding. Those are little steps. Think of them as crutches. And that when you grow in that, the more you spend into it. I had a pastor years ago that told me to take an hour out of my day and pray. And I thought, an hour? How do we do that? It's actually, I'm sorry, is it 2 hours a day?
Oh my.
And what he did is he said, do it at 5 minutes. And the thing is that it evolved into the point where I was being guided and I heard better and better. And then it was just like an awakening. Right now, the frequency is so high on the planet. It's the best time to do this. So as Ron says, fear not, doubt not, but always be believing. And if you see that your mind is being busy, it is pushing that down and it makes it harder to hear. So if you can do that, one of the things is love and gratitude. If you think your mind's being busy, you could just thank, Prime Creator, thank God, thank your guides, your angels, whatever term you'd like to use. And then also thank Gaia for all the trees, the plants, the birds, because we're all one with that. The water is part of that. There's so much energy around us when we get out of that. And that is what makes it more real to us. And it's easier to hear your counselor. I hope this helps. Please use your own discernment if you don't resonate with that. But if you do, much blessing. And it's just that spending that time. It's like learning another language, but it's a language of our heart. We already know the whole language. We just have to learn to use it.
Yes, I'm trying so hard. Maybe I'm trying too hard, but I do that. Everything you said, thank you so much. That's just lovely. I'm excited anyway. I'm excited for the future. I know it's bright, so thank
I'm
you.
excited for you. I'm sure it's going to become more and more pronounced.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, go ahead.
20 years ago, I went to see a psychic. She was really good. Apparently, I've been to many, but this one in particular, he said I was here to bring in the golden age
Well,
of
I'm not
mankind.
necessarily. Sorry about that. We are muted too. Lightworker, go ahead and unmute and we can finish that conversation.
Finish your thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was muted. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was just saying that about 20 years ago, I had seen a psychic, and she told me I was here to bring in the golden age of mankind. I had no clue what she was talking about, and then I heard it from Ron, and then a couple of other, and it was just kind of resonated with me, and I just wanted to share that because it was really special, and now I understand what she was trying to tell me. So it was exciting. I've always just been come from my heart, and I'm just more of a lover. So I appreciate you guys for all that you've done for me and for everybody in Love One Society. And Ron, I love you so much. I know you're not here, but I'm just sending you healing vibes in my heart and sending you love and light as much as possible. And thank you all for doing what you do. And I love you guys, everybody here. Thank you.
Love you too.
Much love.
Blessing. Wonderful, wonderful.
What a great way to end it.
It is. That was a great speech, and we love all the things you said. So
Thank
Well,
you. Have a great day, guys.
thanks so
too.
much. So I think we'll call it a day here.
think
I would
so.
like to
Wonderful.
unmute everyone so that you could say your last goodbyes, and then we will come back to you at another time. Let me do this though. Let me
Can we,
stop.
Dom, can we rephrase that? Not last goodbyes, but everybody just share their love.
And
Our
then,
next, how about our next to Lowe's?
yes,
Yeah, just
yes.
share your love.
It's, yeah, bye for
Well,
now.
Bye-bye.